We are joined now by retired U.S. Army Major General William Enyart. General, welcome to the show.
Good morning, Hena. Thank you.
Of course. So the EU is accusing Israel of holding up humanitarian aid. Israel's denying it. But then there are also organizations that are saying the food that is getting in isn't being delivered because of a total breakdown of law and order. Is that what you're seeing too, General?
Well, I think there's absolutely a breakdown of civil authority in Gaza at this time. With the ongoing military conflict, there's essentially no police force. There's no civil authority running the Gaza Strip. So it's awfully difficult to control these crowds, awfully difficult to take care of the logistics that are necessary to get these foodstuffs delivered.
The IDF has effectively eliminated Hamas, at least when it comes to any military force, but as we know, not as a terrorist element. Do you think this could turn into a forever war, like our, quote, war on terror?
Well, frankly, it already is a forever war.
Yeah,
since 2008, Israel and Hamas have fought this is the fifth war since 2008. So, and in between, during the truces in between, there have been relatively constant terrorist attacks, suicide bombings, both on soldiers and civilians, perpetrated by Hamas. So we in effect already have a forever war.
I want to talk about the incident from Thursday. There are conflicting reports here. IDF claims it fired warning shots into the air. It fired non-lethal shots. Also saying most of the people that were killed, 100 Gazans, I believe, were killed in a stampede. Does your information confirm this account, General, or are you hearing something different?
Well, I think everyone's hearing essentially the same stories, depending on which sources you're looking to. Clearly, there were some folks who were wounded and killed by bullet strikes, and then there are certainly some who were killed by a stampede. What the full truth of the matter is, we'll probably never know because it's going to be filtered through the Israelis' viewpoint as well as through Hamas's viewpoint.
Fair point. Now, the priority here, as you well know, is the hostages. How do we get back on track to negotiate their release?
Well, that's a $64 question, isn't it? And so far, we've not been able to reach any kind of agreement there. There's very little trust on either side, largely because it is a forever war at this point. And while Israel has managed to pretty thoroughly destroy Hamas as an effective military fighting force, you're never going to be able to eradicate that terrorist element. And frankly, the more people you kill, the more people you radicalize in Gaza. So it's going to be an ongoing problem for Israel.
The hope was to have a ceasefire in place before Ramadan, which starts next Sunday, March 10th. Do you think that's still possible?
Well, I think it's possible. What it would require is for Hamas to be willing to move to a truce, as well as Israel to be willing to cease fire for a period of time. I think Israel's bigger problem here really is Iran. So long as Iran is supplying weapons and training to these militia forces, Israel's going to have an ongoing problem with Hamas as well as Hezbollah in the north and Lebanon.
General, what do you think about the Biden administration doing an airdrop of aid? We haven't seen this from the administration yet. Do you think this may hurt their relationship with Israel moving forward?
As long as they're supplying humanitarian aid, I don't see that as a major problem. And certainly we were able to do that in 1948 when we had the Berlin airlift, when the Soviet Union blocked all the access points into the city of Berlin, which was a freedom oasis surrounded by East Germany, which at that time was part of the Soviet bloc. So it can be done. We have bigger and better aircraft today to do it. It's expensive. It's not very efficient, but it certainly circumvents the Israelis' blockade of the northern entry points into Gaza.
We always appreciate your time. Thank you so much for coming on, Major General William Enyart. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.